Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? I hope all of you are well. I am Rizwana Mukhtar, lecturer, Department of Physics, Maleston College. Today I am going to discuss about vector product or multiplication of two vector quantities. I hope this lecture will help you for your better study at home. So let us start our today's class. In our previous lecture, you have already learned about the addition and subtraction of vector quantities. In our today's lecture, I will discuss about the multiplication of two vector quantities. Actually, vector quantities can be multiplied in two ways. That means the multiplication of vector quantities are of two types. Number one is scalar or dot product. And number two is vector or cross product. So, if we multiply two vector quantities and as a result if we find a scalar quantity, then that type of product is known as scalar or dot product. But after the multiplication of two vector quantities, if we get another vector quantity, then that type of product is known as the vector or cross product. So let's start to discuss about the scalar or dot product. Product means if the multiplication of two vector quantity is a scalar quantity, then that type of product is known as scalar product. Here you can see that two vector quantity P and Q are inclined with alpha angle with each other. So, if we write the scalar product of P and Q, then we can write it in this way that P dot Q. Actually, for this dot sign, the another name of scalar product is dot product, and the magnitude of scalar product is the product of magnitude of the two vector and the cosine angle between these two vector is the magnitude of scalar product. So we can write that P Q cos alpha. So the definition of dot or scalar product is if the product of two vector quantity is a scalar quantity and the magnitude of that product is the product of magnitude of two vectors and the angle of cosine between them is called the dot or scalar product. There are some special properties of scalar product. First is, from the equation you can see that this product is directly depends on the angle between them. So, if the angle between P and Q become 90 degree, that means if P and Q vector become perpendicular to each other, then we can write that P dot Q equal to P Q cos 90 degree, and you know that the value of cos 90 degree is 0. So we can write that P dot Q equal to 0. So from this equation we can say that if two vector become perpendicular to each other, then the dot product of these two vectors will be 0. Or when the dot product of two vectors will be 0, when the vector become perpendicular to each other or the angle between two vectors is 90 degree. In that case, the product will be 0. Second property. In this equation, we can easily identify the angle between these two vectors. Here you can see that P dot Q equals to PQ cos alpha. So we can write that cos alpha equal to P dot Q divided by PQ, or alpha equal to cos inverse P dot Q by PQ. So this is the another property of scalar product. With the help of scalar product, we can easily identify the angle between two vectors. The dot product of two rectangular unit vectors. Rectangular unit vectors, you have already learned about that. That means in the three-dimensional coordinate system, I, J and K, these three unit vectors act towards the positive x, y and z direction is known as the rectangular unit vector. If we multiply two similar type of unit vectors, that means I dot I dot I. So from the equation of dot product, we know that P dot Q is equal to P Q cos alpha. So we can use this formula here. I dot I, that means the magnitude of unit vector I dot the magnitude of unit vector I into cos alpha. Now you can see that the angle between two similar type of vector, that means 2I vector, the direction will be same. That is, if I acts in this x direction, so we can say that the angle between them is 0 degree. So magnitude of I is 1 dot 1 into cos 0 degree, and you know that the value of cos 0 degree is also 1. So we can say that I dot I equal to 1. So similarly, we will get that j dot j equal to 1, k dot k equals to 1. That's why we can write I dot I equal to j dot j equal to k dot k will be 1. Dot product of similar type of rectangular unit vector will be 1. If you multiply two different type of unit vector, that means if I write I dot j, so we can write that modulus of I modulus of j into cos alpha. Alpha means here you can see that the angle between I and j is 90 degree. You know that three axes always remain perpendicular to each other. So the angle between I and j is 90 degree. And you know that the value of cos 90 is 0. So we can say that the product of different types of rectangular unit vector is 0. As I dot j equal to 0, so we can write that j dot k or k dot I, every different type of rectangular vectors product remains 0 every time. Dot j equal to j dot k equal to k dot I is equal to 0. Dot product of vector quantities by component. You know that we can write that P vector in three-dimensional way is P x I plus P yj plus P Z K. And for the q vector we can also use that q vector equals to q xi plus q yj plus q z k. Now I am going to multiply this two vector. So we can write that p dot q is equal to, p means this, that is pxi plus pyj plus pz k dot q. Q means qxi plus qyj plus qz k. Now I am going to follow the normal mathematical procedure first. So we can so here you can see that firstly pxi is multiplied with these three quantities. Similar way py is also multiplied with these three quantities, and so we can write that px into qx I dot I plus px with qy, px qy, here we can write I dot j plus px qz that means I dot k plus py qx, py qx, so j dot I. Now py qy, here j dot j, plus py qz, that means j dot k plus pz qx, so pz qx that means k dot I plus pz qy that is k dot j, and the last one is that pz qz that is k dot k. Now we have already learned that I dot I, j dot j and k dot k, the value will be 1, and whenever we multiply the different type of unit vector, then that their products will be 0. So we can easily write that the product of two vectors by component will be px qx plus py qy plus pz qz, because others value will be 0. So it is also a important formula. Okay, if you don't get the angle between two vectors and the magnitude of two vectors, then by applying this formula we can easily identify the dot product of two vectors. Another topic which we can describe with the help of dot or scalar product is projection of vectors. Projection means what amount of one vector is on the other vector, or in simple way we can say that the shadow of one vector on the another vector is known as the projection. So if we want to calculate the projection of vector q on the vector p, here you can see that I draw a perpendicular. That means if we lighten up this portion of vector q, then the shadow which will fall on the vector p is known as the projection of q on p. So if we calculate the magnitude of OC, then this OC will indicate the value of projection q on p. So we can write that projection of vector q on p. See that OAC is a triangle. In this triangle, if we apply the cos formula or cos component formula, we can write that in triangle OAC, alpha base by hypo. So OC base is OC by hypotenuse means OA. Cos alpha equals to base by hypo. That means OC equals to OA cos alpha. And from the equation you can see that OA means the vector q or the magnitude of q vector. So instead of OA we can write q cos alpha, that is OC equal to q cos alpha. And from the dot product we know that the formula is dot q is equal to p q cos alpha. So we can write that q cos alpha equal to p dot q by p. So instead of q cos alpha we can write that p dot q by p. P dot q by p. So now you can, from this equation you can see that OC means the projection of vector q on p is p dot q by p, and this is only indicates the magnitude of projection. But if you want to calculate the direction, then we need a unit vector, because from the definition of unit vector you know that if A is a unit vector, then we can write that vector A by magnitude of A, that is A vector equals to A cap into A. So we can say that if we multiply a unit vector with any magnitude, then we can get a vector quantity, and this is the very important characteristics of a unit vector. Actually unit vector indicates the direction. So if we add a unit vector here, then we can easily describe the projection of q on p with magnitude and direction. So suppose here p cap is the unit vector of vector p. So instead of p cap we can write that p dot q by P into vector P by magnitude of P. If we simplify this equation, then we can write that OC is equal to P dot Q divided by P square into vector P. That means the projection of Q on P is P dot Q by P square into vector P. In the similar way, if we write that projection of P on Q, projection of P on Q is OE. So we can write that OE equal to P dot Q divided by Q square into vector Q. Topic of scalar product is component of Q on P. You have already learned about the components in vector resolution. Actually, whenever two vectors making an angle, then we can say that the component of Q on P is, as this Q vector is making angle with vector P, so we can say that the horizontal component of vector Q is Q cos alpha, and from the dot product we know that Q cos alpha equals to P dot Q by P. P dot Q by P. So we can say that the component of Q on vector P is P dot Q by P. In the similar way, if we have to calculate the component of P on Q, then we can say that component of P on Q, then we can write that P cos alpha is equal to P dot Q by Q. So these all are from dot product or scalar product. Now we are going to discuss about the cross or vector product. Vector or cross product. If by multiplying two vector quantities we get another new vector quantity, then that type of multiplication is known as the vector or cross product. Here you can see that these two vectors are inclined with each other with alpha angle. Now if we multiply these two vectors, so we can say that P cross Q is equal to, actually when we identify the cross product or vector product, then this sign is used between these two vectors. That's why the another name of vector product is cross product. Okay. So magnitude of the cross product of these two vectors is the product of these two vectors and the angle of sign between them, that is P Q sin alpha. From the definition, you know that by multiplying two vectors, if we get another new vector quantity, then that will be the vector product or cross product. So know that vector products means a new vector quantity. So here PQ sin alpha indicates the magnitude of this quantity, and the direction of this new vector quantity will be indicated by a unit vector eta, and this unit vector will be always perpendicular to these two vectors. That means this unit vector will be either on the upward direction or in the downward direction. It always remains perpendicular with these two vectors, and we can identify the direction of eta or this unit vector with right hand screw rule. So what is right hand screw rule? Right hand screw rule. Actually, if we are going to identify the vector product of P and Q, that means P cross Q, then if we put a right-handed screw here, then in which direction the screw will move to go from P to Q by making the shortest angle. Remember that whenever we are doing the cross product means the shortest angle between these two vectors to go from one to another. So here you can see that if you move our right-handed screw in the upward direction, then by making the shortest angle we can move from P to Q, and here you can see that the direction of the screw will be upward. So we can say that P cross Q is equal to eta PQ sin alpha. But if we measure Q cross P, that is Q cross P. So if you put a right-handed screw here, then whenever we start to move the right-handed screw from Q to P by making the shortest angle, then this screw will move in downward direction. So we can write that Q cross P is equal to minus eta PQ sin alpha. Why that eta is positive? That means eta or this unit vector is acting perpendicularly upward direction, and here eta is negative or the unit vector is acting in the downward direction. That's why this minus sign is used here. Cross products have some properties as well. Suppose P and Q, two vectors, are acting in the same direction or in parallel to each other. That means if P and Q vector becomes parallel to each other or act in the same direction, so in that case we can write that P cross Q is equal to eta PQ sin alpha. As these two vectors are in the same direction, so the angle between P and Q is 0. So instead of sin alpha we can write eta is equal to PQ sin 0 degree, and you know that the value of sin 0 degree is 0. So from that we can write P cross Q is equal to 0. That if the cross product of two vectors is 0, it indicates that these two vectors are parallel to each other. To measure the perpendicular unit vectors, here you can see that we know that this eta or this unit vector is perpendicular to vector P and Q. So if you want to calculate the perpendicular unit vector with the help of this equation, we can write that P cross Q is equal to eta PQ sin alpha. So that eta is equal to P cross Q divided by PQ sin alpha. And you know that PQ sin alpha actually is the magnitude of P cross Q. So instead of PQ sin alpha we can say that eta is equal to P cross Q divided by modulus of P cross Q, and modulus of P cross Q means PQ sin alpha. So from this equation we can easily identify the perpendicular unit vector of any two vectors. Of cross product we can identify the area of parallelogram. Parallelogram is length into height. That means we can write that OA into height means CD. Now CD, if we consider OCD is a triangle, then we can write that sin alpha is equals to CD by OC. We can write that sin alpha equals to CD by OC. So CD is equal to OC sin alpha. Now we can write that OA. OA means vector P, magnitude of vector P, and CD. CD means OC sin alpha. And here you can see OC means the magnitude of Q. So we can write that P Q sin alpha, and you know that PQ sin alpha means the modulus of P cross Q. So we can say that if two vectors act as the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram by making angle alpha, then the area of that parallelogram will be the modulus of P cross Q. This cross product we can easily identify the area of a triangle. You can see that I draw the diagonal of this parallelogram, and you know that this diagonal is divide a parallelogram into two equal shaped triangle, and if this is the P side, then we can say that CB is also vector P, because in parallelogram opposite side is equal and parallel to each other. So we can say that the area of triangle is half of the area of parallelogram. So we can write that area of triangle is equal to half modulus P cross Q. Cross product of similar type of rectangular unit vector, that means I cross I cross I. So we can write that cross product is eta modulus I into sin alpha. So you know that two similar type of unit vector making 0 degree angle, as they are in the same direction. So here we can use sin 0 degree. So I cross I will be 0. So from this equation we can say that the cross product of similar type of unit vector is 0. That is I cross I is equal to cross J is equal to K cross K will be 0. Every time the cross product of similar rectangular unit vector is 0 and the dot product of similar rectangular unit vector is 1. Cross product of different type of rectangular unit vector, that means if I want to measure the cross product of I cross J, then this is eta modulus I modulus j into sine. You know that the angle between I and j, or the angle between x and y axis, is 90 degree. So we can use that sine 90 degree. And you know that the value of sine 90 degree is 1, and here the value of I and j is also 1. So we can write that I cross j is equal to eta, and here eta means the perpendicular unit vector of I and j, and you know that the perpendicular unit vector of I and j is k, as these three vectors are perpendicular to each other. So instead of eta we can write I cross j is equal to k. Now if we do the cross product in reverse way, or j cross I, so the direction of k will be negative, because in I cross j the right handed screw is moving from I to j, so we get the perpendicular unit vector in the positive direction. But if this is move from j to I, that means this vector will act in the opposite direction. So j cross I is equal to minus k. In this way we can write the cross product of every dissimilar type of unit vectors. We can easily identify the cross product of different type of rectangular unit vectors. Suppose these three vectors are acting in clockwise direction, so we can write that I cross j. After I cross j we will get k, so I cross j is equal to k. Now j cross k, after j cross k we will get I, so we can write that j cross k is equal to I. Now k cross I, k cross I, so k cross I, after we will get, if we move in the circular way we will get j, so we can write that k cross I equals to j. But if we consider it in anti-clockwise direction, that means if I draw j cross I, after that we will get k, but it's moved in the anti-clockwise direction, so the perpendicular unit vector will be negative, that is minus k. Okay, so in the same way we can write that k cross j is equal to minus I, and I cross k is equal to minus j. So it is the simple way to memorize or to identify the cross product of different type of rectangular unit vector. I hope this will help you for today. Thank you for being with me. Do memorize all the formulas which I discussed in our today's class.